Hello, my beautiful loves of the world, is me, Queen Nightmare, and I'm going to do part 2 of Love and Longing one-shots. And it's 21 more days until Halloween. Yikes. Differences and lies. Drarry. Draco and Harry were once again arguing about helping Harry let slip. He had just innocently mentioned that he liked the way Neville was dressing lately, and that sent Draco in a frenzy. Oh, so you just like how his ass looks in those skinny jeans. Or maybe it's how the cardigan makes his biceps look. And Draco yelled, and Harry threw his hands up in frustration. No, I was just saying he's dressing nicely, and I don't like his ass. Oh, so you admit to looking at his biceps? Draco sneered, and he whisked past Harry, then whipped around. Yeah? No, Harry yelled. He was fuming. The room changed into something that matched both of the boys' moods. A blackout in a thunderstorm. Thunder crackled outside the little room they were in. Draco turned around and he looked at Harry with daggers. Harry could just barely make it out. Just admit it, Potter. He told me angrily. Tell me that you look at other guys, he said. I'm tired of deception. Draco's voice dropped to a soft whisper. I'm not deceiving you, Harry spoke softly. His heart broke at the misery in Draco's voice. I see it, Harry. I see it when you're together, when we're out together, when we're in class, when we're just together. Hell, I even see it when we make love. You're not there. You don't look at me the way you used to. Instead of love like before, I see reluctance. Draco's lip started to quiver as he growled and blinked furiously. Draco, Harry started, but Draco lifted his hand and the room changed again into something more suitable for Draco. His library. A happy place. Something to comfort him. Do you love me, Harry? What? Of course I... Don't lie to me. Draco cut it off. He finally looked up, his face red and puffy, and tears slipping down his face. Please don't lie to me, he begged. Harry blinked away his own tears and looked away. No, I don't, Harry whispered, and Draco took a shaky inhale. I thought so. Draco spoke softly without looking up. Please just go. Harry let tears drench his face. Don't, but nodded. Goodbye, Draco, he whispered, but Draco just nodded in response. Harry left the room and Draco let out a sob. Goodbye, Raven. This is sad. How is this a Drarry thing? I'm pissed off. That's it. I'm pissed off. Not funny. Part 2 of the differences and lies. Oh, trust and truth. Okay. Okay, that made me... Trust and truth. Part 2 of the differences and lies. I wasn't going to do it, but I decided to... Oh, someone was sad as well. Yeah. Years later, Draco's POV. Years later, I was dropping my son off. Wow, just wait. How many years later? Wait, this doesn't make sense. Okay, years later, I was dropping my son off at the Hogwarts Express. I had adopted my little Scorpius when I was 23. I was still single, and it wasn't that I hadn't gotten over Harry. I did. I just felt I could never trust anyone and another person like I did him. I was walking away from the train when I felt a presence next to me. Hey, you. I looked up and Harry was smiling at me. After we broke up, we just practically ignored each other until the year ended. Then we never saw each other. Hey, Harry, I said. How have you been? Have a child, I see. He pointed out. Yeah, I adopted him. I've been doing well. How about you? You've been under the radar. At this, he laughed and nodded. Yes, I have been struggled. Struggled with a lot, so I was keeping low. I see, I nodded. I didn't know you had kids, he said to him. I don't, I was just here with Hermione and Ron. They have a kid, a daughter. He told him, do you want to maybe get something to drink with me? I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I pondered for a bit. I took a deep breath. Okay, yeah. He smiled wildly as I grinned back. We apparated to a little tea shop, and we sat awkwardly together. It was so strange to him after all these years. He looked worn and tired, but still the same Harry I fell in love with. I'm sorry that all the pain I've caused you, he said. What pain would that be? From back when we were teens. I loved you. I really did. I thought I stopped because I was not happy. Truth was, I wasn't happy with myself. Losing you was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Losing you was the worst thing that happened to me too. He told me softly. Losing you was the worst thing that happened to me? He told me softly. It took me years to get over you. The breakup, though, it may have been brutal. It was tough, I told him. And now, when I'm finally doing well in life, you want to come back, possibly break my heart all over? I asked. I'm not some rag doll that can be tossed away when you're done with. Then pick it up when you want to play with it again. No, I know you aren't. His eyes glistened with tears. I wouldn't want to think that. I wouldn't want you to think that. Why, no. I've seen a therapist. It's like a mind healer. He had told me to think back to a time there where I was happiest. The only time that was with you, he told me. Since our breakup, I've learned to love myself. I want you back, Draco. I know you're over me, but I want a second chance. I have a son to think about, Harry. I know you do, he told me, and I swallowed. But he'll be away for a while. It's his first year, yeah? He asked, and I nodded. And you haven't been alone, even before you adopted him. There was always someone there. Again, I nodded. And now I want to be the someone there. How can I trust you? Won't you hurt me again? I whispered. His hands clasped over mine and held them tight. Because I will spend the rest of my life earning your trust if that means gaining you. He told me. His eyes were so sincere. So I nodded. Okay. Whew, wow. That was a lot. Nice. So, this is the love triangle and its wrath. Oh boy. Draco stared at how Potter looked at the mudblood. God, he wished Potter would look at him that way. Hermione looks at how Draco looked at Harry. Sure, he was a boy who lived, but she was the girl with the brains. She knew how to get Draco to like her. Oh gosh, this is gonna get gross. Harry stared over at his best friend. He longed for her to feel the same, but there was no way in telling. The way she talked about Malfoy made his heart sink. If she fancied him, there was no doubt in his mind. Malfoy felt the same. I mean, come on. He's always staring at her like a lost puppy. Guys, I'll be right back, Hermione said. Ron waved his hand dismissively, but Harry gave her a big smile. We'll miss you, Miney, he told her, and she scoffed. Don't be silly. I'm just going over there, Hermione scolded. She got up and waltzed over to the Slytherin table, making Harry's heart clench painfully. She touched Draco's shoulder, and he looked up. He sneered at her, but she asked him something. The other Slytherins laughed, so Hermione blushed. Draco shook his head and said something to her that made her blush deeper. She backed away and stormed out of the hall. Harry jumped up and ran after her. He saw that she just ran into Myrtle's bathroom. Harry walked in and heard her crying, so he looked at her. Miney, what happened? Harry asked. I asked him out, she said. They laughed at me, but I'm used to that. But he told me he was gay. I mean, how disgusting, she said, and Harry inched away. He was bisexual. But did she think he was disgusting? What? It's gross to like other boys. A male should be with a female, she said. Definitely. Okay. Harry's heart dropped, and he looked at her with repulsion. If that's what you think, I can't believe I ever loved you. Harry hissed and then stormed out. Angry and upset, tears filled his eyes. Then he hit something. He let out a strangled sob. Potter? Draco spoke. Sorry, Malfoy. Harry sniffed. It's fine, Harry, Draco said, and Harry looked up. I wanted to ask you something. What? Harry was still in shock. That his first name was used. Would you go to Hogsmeade with me this weekend? He asked, and Harry smiled. He felt right. Love was love in Harry's mind, and it doesn't matter what the gender is. I would love to. Between family and friends. Draco's POV. Okay. A heart thumped painfully in my chest. Harry or my family. With Harry, I'm happy, and he'll always protect me. But with him, I don't know how my parents would survive. My mother would be killed, but I love Harry and Hogwarts. Oh, and Hogwarts always like a second home to me. If I chose the Death Eaters, my family would be saved. But Harry would never forgive me. He would downright hate me. I would have him hate me. I would love him too. I couldn't have him hate me. I love him too much. Which would it be? My father said, and I looked up with scared eyes. My father wasn't cruel. He was a coward. He wanted what he wanted, but he couldn't say no to the Dark Lord. He was a coward. Son? Draco, we want what's best for you, my mother said. I looked over to her. What's best for me? Harry or here? Harry or here? Harry or here? I felt myself panicking. I wanted my parents to live, but Harry was my one true love. I need an answer, Father demanded. Coward. He was scared too. Harry or here? I want, I stuttered, and my father glared. Do you do what you want, dragon? Mother assured. Harry or here? I tried to channel my inner Griffin. Wait, what? He has a... Okay. I tried to channel my inner Gryffindor, but came to find it must have been busy the moment. I closed my eyes and I trying to channel Harry. What would Harry do? WWHD. Harry or here? Harry would pick himself probably. I smiled at the thought. My father scowled, scared me. Harry or here? Pick! My father yelled. Do it, Draco. Harry's voice rang in my ears. Who's it going to be, Draco? Mother asked, and I took a deep breath. This was the right thing to do, and I looked at my parents and said one word. Harry. Oh, that's Scorpius. That's Drarry. Ooh, this one's going to be Demon, Draco, and Helper Harry. This is going to be the last one for today. Harry's POV. He's looking ill, Draco. What? He's looking ill, Draco. Don't you think? Hermione asked, and I looked over to the Slytherin table where Malfoy was, just pushing this food around on his plate. He looked skinnier, I mentioned, but Ron scoffed. Why do we care what's wrong with Draco? He sneered. Malfoy. I saw Malfoy get up and fast pace out of the Great Hall. I need to use the loo, I said. I'll be back. I get up and walk out of the Great Hall. I saw a glimpse of him going into an abandoned girl's bathroom, so I followed. What I saw was him in the mirror sobbing, his eyes bloodshot and actually sniffling. Not fair! Not fair! Not fair! Not fair! He was chanting. He chanted, Draco? I said softly, and he looked up into the mirror. Leave me be, Potter, he sneered. What's the matter? I asked him, and his bottom lip trembled. He leaped towards me, and I just about to grab my wand when he embraced me. Hey, shh, I soothed. It's not fair, Potter. What isn't? Life, he yelled. I'm so fat and ugly, and I just want to die. Shh, everything is going to be okay, I soothed. Is this okay? He yelled, and he ripped out of his wrist from his robe. I gasped as I saw nasty scars running up the length of it. Draco! I pulled him closer to me as he could cry on my shoulder. He cried into my shoulder as I soothed him. He pulled away and I looked at him. Why are you being so nice? Because you need help, Draco. I told him, you're depressed and you're starving yourself. How did you know? He whispered. I can tell, I told him. You're skinnier than me. You weren't eating, I told him. Well, will you let me help you? I asked him. Can you help me? I feel like a lost cause. Don't. I will help you, I told him. 6 months later. After 6 months of helping Draco, I was happy to announce he was finally really good about himself. He was eating and wasn't cutting anymore. Hello, Draco. Hello, Draco smiled and pressed a kiss to my head. Did I forget to mention we started dating? Hi, my love. How are you doing? I asked, and he smiled widely. I'm great because I have the best boyfriend in the world, he told me. Aw, is that so? He must be great. I smirked as I rolled my eyes. He pressed his lips against mine. Yeah, life was good. Oh my gosh. I'll give you a sneak peek of what the title is for next week. Well, tomorrow. Telling Mooney and Padfoot. Ooh, telling about their relationship. Ooh. Oh boy, will that be ever a good idea? Okay, guys, I am going to say goodbye, and I'm gonna miss you guys, even though I'm gonna hear from you if you ever comment. If you don't, I understand. But you know what, guys? Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving to everyone, even if they are the worst person in the world. Trust me. Be happy and always confront people who judge you, because no one can know the best person unless you open up to them. I will have to sign off now, but I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.